Guys, it's Carl from GuitarBreakdown.com. Today I've got the Andrews Para Dyne 20 combo amplifier. This particular amp is the 20 watt version to the Para Dyne 50 head and cabinet, which I did a review of a couple of months ago on the Guitar Breakdown. So this version is the combo amp. It has the single 12-inch speaker. It has 20 watts of output approximately with two 6V6 output tubes. The feature set is very similar to that of the Para Dyne 50. So I'll just briefly recap that here in this video. If you want to know a little bit more in depth about those features, you could check out the Para Dyne 50 review and demo on the Guitar Breakdown. So we have two channels. The first channel, channel 1, is more or less a clean channel, and it goes from spick and span clean up to moderately overdriven, but really dynamic. Super useful channel that could have been a great amp, just that one channel. So anyway, to control that channel though, it's very simple. There aren't actual separate tone knobs, but there's a bright switch with 3 positions, a channel 1 depth switch, which adds a lot of low-end resonance, especially for when you're quieter and you want the clean channel to sound a little deeper. So several positions on that. Then there's channel 2, which is your lead channel, and it has a little bit more of a high gain sound possibilities anyway. From the lower settings, it's more like a classic rock overdrive, up to the higher gain settings are more compressed and lead type sounds. Okay, then you have treble, middle, and bass, and this amp has a really a good sort of even, sort of flat EQ to it. And it has a lot of nice mid-range available though, so I like to punch that up on the dirty channel. We'll hear that in a few minutes here. Okay, so on the far right side we've got the master, which just controls the level of the lead channel. So on your first channel, it's more just a single volume non-master type situation, and you can balance those really nicely. So really good thing to me about this is it keeps a simple set of features with one set of tone controls, and they do not affect the sound of your clean channel, which is sculpted really nicely, and then you can really shape it further with the bright switch and the depth knob. So kind of a neat setup that isn't really so obvious on other amps. Okay, so then we got standby and power, the indicator, and on the back, just like on the Para Dyne 50, we have an external set of bias points. So if you're handy with a multimeter, you could set your own bias, change your tubes, be able to reset the bias yourself. That's a really good do-it-yourself type feature. Also, there's a Pentode and Triode switch, which in the Triode setting is approximately a half power. So that's also very helpful if you need to turn the amp down, but you don't want to lose too much of your tone. And there's also, in this particular one, it came with the series effects loop which does work very well. It has a switch for negative 20 dB, which can really help out to figure out which setting you need for your pedals. Sometimes pedals will distort in an effects loop if it doesn't have that feature. Okay, and also has a true bypass switch for the a complete bypass for the effects loop. So that's pretty much the features that are available on the amp, and we'll check out some tones. I'm going to play some various guitars and let you hear a whole bunch of different things that this amp can do. Let's take a quick listen to channel 1. I've got the volume on about 3.5. So that's plenty loud, and it's got a complex clean sound. Let's check that out. Okay, so let's turn the volume up just a little bit, and we'll get a little bit more bite, and let's check that sound out. Now we've got channel 1 turned up just a little bit more. We're on about 7. You get into the higher levels, it overdrives real nicely, so we get a real smooth gain sound, but it's still real nice and clear. And notice how if I roll down on the volume, we can get real nice clean sound. Okay, so that's a really cool thing about the non-master volume type situation on channel 1, is it's really organic. It responds great to the guitar, and it maintains its clarity even when you get to a little bit more gain on that channel. So then you just back off on your guitar and you've got a clean sound. So anyway, those are some pretty cool things about channel 1, so let's check out channel 2. Okay, so here we are on channel 2, and I've got it set for about a moderate gain setting of about 5, and the master is on about 5. So you'll hear that the guitar has a lot of punch now, but still it's tight and kind of clear. So really a good, useful sort of classic rock gain level in the middle levels here. Power chords are nice and punchy and tight. So the rhythm sounds real tight and everything, and at this same medium gain level, we've got a nice punchy thick sound on the single string swill. Notice how high strings sound big, makes your string gauges sound bigger than they really are. So anyway, that's kind of a moderate setting, so we'll check out a little bit more high gain. Alright, I hope you've enjoyed checking out the Andrews Para Dyne 20 with me today. It's a really awesome little combo amp, and this and all the other great models that Andrews makes, you can check them out on the web. Just look up Andrews Amplification. And before I go, I want to tell you about the signal path so you understand how it was recorded, and there's not really anything fancy here. My speaking voice being recorded by a video mic, so it's just a Rode video mic. That's a separate thing. All the guitar parts being recorded by Shure SM57 that's placed right up here on the grill claw, just a little bit off the cone, or the center, the dust cap. And then that goes along with a Rode NT1 large diaphragm condenser mic that's about 9 feet away from this mic, just to give a little bit of room dimension and stereo field. And those are going into a Mark of the Unicorn 896 HD, and then into MacBook Pro with Cubase 4. It's like an older version. So anyway, it's a pretty standard, straightforward sort of thing. Did add a little bit of reverb in there because this room is very small. I've got it damped down so that my voice doesn't sound too echoey in here. So not all that friendly for trying to get a really good room guitar sound. So to compensate for that, I've added a little bit of reverb in the recording. Other than that, everything's pretty straightforward, and this amp sounds really great in person, and I hope you'll check them out. So again, thanks for checking it out with me, and I hope you'll join us again here on GuitarBreakdown.com, and I'll see you in the future.